YouTube. Today in the Naughty Librarian, I am going over the dumpster fires I read in June. Okay, so from the title, you know this video is about dumpster fires, and by that I mean books that were so bad they can only be classified as dumpster fires. And I'm a little loosey-goosey because I like to drink before my rants, so it's going to be interesting. I don't know what I'm going to say yet. We'll find out together. In the month of June, I read 2 books that were considered dumpster fires. And without further ado, let's just get into this mess. I want to bitch about some stuff. First things first. The Mister by E.L. James is hot garbage. I've said it. There you go. I went into this book not expecting hot garbage. I will say that. I did not go into this book expecting it to be bad. Because, say what you want about the 50 Shades series. Are they great literature? No. But are they readable? Yes, they are. They're what is this idiot gonna do next? I need to know! They're just written in a way that you have to turn the page, okay? It's a rare thing. It may not be a great story, it might not be great writing, but hot damn, you need to know what happens. So, I was expecting that here. I wasn't expecting the world. I just thought it was going to be something that's very intensely readable, that I'm going to be oh, what's gonna happen next? What's this dummy gonna do? I need to know. And, I did not care what these dummies were going to do. There's a lot of problems here, frankly. I'm laughing because there's so many. I can't think of anything that's not a problem. Oh, man. It's gonna be rough. Okay, so let's just start at the beginning. You have this guy named Maxim, and he's very much, this rich guy who, has fucked his way through London, essentially. He will fuck anything that moves with a vagina. Honestly, I feel if he saw a shapely peach, he'd make eyes on it. That's how many things he fucks. He's not discriminatory with his dick at all. So we got to a point where I'm just how does he not have syphilis? I know he wears condoms, but honey, he has syphilis. There's no way he doesn't. But anyway, regardless of that, there's this woman named Alicia, and she is an immigrant, and she is his daily, which is basically a maid who comes daily. So she's cleaning his house, and okay, flash forward a bit. I would say the first 125 pages of this book is just Alicia and Maxim being obsessed with each other separately and just jerking off. Neither of them tell each other that they're into them. There's no interactions. There's barely interactions. They maybe talk. Their interactions can be summed up into maybe 25 minutes, and they've known each other for weeks, and they maybe talk for 25 minutes total. And all they do is just jerk off and think about each other, and it's for so long that I'm just why am I reading? Is this the whole book? Is it gonna be a whole book about these guys just jerking off? What am I reading? What am I reading? And let's get into the meat of the story here, because that's all stupid already. But here's the meat of the story. And by the way, when I say meat of the story, I mean I'm gonna talk about what happens in the story. So there's gonna be spoilers here, because this is a rant. And in rants, you talk about what happened and make fun of it. So there's gonna be spoilers. You have been warned. Okay, so meat of the story. Alicia is an immigrant, like I said. She's from Albania. You find out she is the victim of human trafficking, which is horrible, right? That's a horrible story. And then the thing she had to do to survive and escape these traffickers, and basically she had to walk across England to get to this house of her mom's friend that she happened to remember the address of, in a country where she doesn't know where anything is. She steals a map and she has to walk across the country with nothing. She has no money, she has no food, she has nothing. So it's an incredible story, right? And they do nothing with it. Nothing is done with the story to go into Alicia and make her into someone who's very strong and resilient. They do nothing with it. They forget that happened and how strong and resilient of a person you would have to be to survive that ordeal. They just forget it. No, whatever. Second thing. Okay, here's the deal. Human traffickers, they are taking these women and telling them, hey, we're bringing you to this other country for better opportunities and for work. But what they mean is they're going to sell them into sex slavery and be prostitutes. That's what it is. That's what human trafficking is, okay? And I'll just say human traffickers aren't known to not be a rapey bunch. Can we all just agree on that? And like, it's a horrible thing, and I don't even wish this on fictional characters. But somehow, these human traffickers didn't rape anybody. Because she gets here, and when she's going to be intimate with Maxim for the first time, she's miraculously like a 25-year-old virgin. And it's like, how? You are human trafficked. There's no way these guys like didn't rape people. There's no way. They were bringing him here to be prostitutes. There's no way they didn't rape anybody. And like, she went so far out of her way to find a way for this girl to be like a virgin so she can be fresh and like new and pure for her like one true love, and it's like garbage. Like, it doesn't make logical fucking sense. And that's the thing, like, I read a lot of like pulpy, silly books sometimes. They're just over dramatic histrionics and they're stupid. But they make logical fucking sense. And this one doesn't have any logic here. There's no way she's still a virgin. Fine, she's 25. And then secondly, she was human trafficked. Like, I don't want her to be raped. Like, I'm happy she wasn't, but it doesn't make any logical sense for her story. Also, Maxim is completely incapable of not thinking with his dick. Like I mentioned earlier, like, if he saw a shapely peach, he'd make eyes at that peach. Like, he's like completely led around by his dick. Like, he has no concept of anything. And he has to keep reminding himself, like, oh, I shouldn't have tried to have sex with her because she was human trafficked. And for all he knows is that she was raped. And he has to keep reminding himself, like, no, I'm saving her. I'm helping protect her because I want to sleep with her, but I shouldn't want to sleep with her, but I do. And it's like, bro, like, chill your jets for a fucking minute. Oh my gosh. If you think this woman has been violated and horribly abused and you can't not get a boner, like, what is wrong with you? Like, I felt it was insulting to men, frankly, which is something I never thought I'd care about, frankly. Like, I don't really care if men get insulted all that much. It's like, oh, you were insulted? I guess you're just gonna have to survive with knowing you have all the money and power in the world. What a hardship. So normally I don't get all that bent out of shape if someone's insulted. However, it's just like poor characterization of men in general. Like, he has no ability to not have a boner. How does he live his life? Like, how does he get anything done? I don't understand. Oh my gosh. Okay. I feel like I'm getting worked up. I need to like fan myself for a minute. It's a combination of wine and anger. Whew. So, there's all of that. And then the thing is, the major plot points of this book is that like everybody's trying to kidnap this lady. It's not like just one kidnapping where like the human traffickers find her and they're gonna kidnap her, which happens. And then Maxim saves the day, which is great. Awesome. Fuck human traffickers. I hope they get shot. I don't care about them. So that's fine. If that was like the one danger moment that happened, like, I could get behind it. However, that's not the only time she gets kidnapped. Like, she gets kidnapped by a completely different person at another time in this. Like, why is she always getting kidnapped? Like, it's like, you can't do it twice. You can't do the same thing twice in the same book. That makes no sense. Let's back up a minute. Alicia got involved with the human traffickers because she was trying to flee Albania because basically her dad engaged her to this guy who is violent and terrible. So she doesn't want to be married to him, so her mom helps her escape. And this guy, Anatoly, he shows up and finds her in England and like says, bitch, I'm taking you home. And I don't know how she's so easy to find. She is like way far away from Albania. Albania and England are not close to each other at all. I don't know how she's so easy to find. She's not on Facebook or anything. Like, I don't get how everyone's just finding her so easily. But he comes and he kidnaps her, and he's taking her across, you know, Europe by car to go back to Albania and force her to marry him. And of course Maxim finds out. He's just like, well, I gotta save her. Oh no. So he just flies to Albania, which, you know, I can't really fault. Because, like, chasing after her when he doesn't know where this guy went in a car, there's, like, millions of roads. It'd be impossible to try to track him down on the road. It's easier just to go to the final destination and beat him there. The problem is he can be doing anything to this woman while you're not there. So, bad things keep happening to her, and, oh gosh. And here's the deal with that. Anatoly, he is a violent person. He baits her several times in this. He just smacks her around and beats her up. Like, he's not a good dude. He's threatened to, like, kill her on multiple occasions. And then, like, you have all these other scenes where he's kind of sweet and, like, genuinely, like, really cares about her, and he's making an effort to try to please her and saying, like, oh, you really like Western things here. I'll try to be more Western and impress you. And it's just like, you can't have it both ways. You can't have this guy trying to be sweet and, like, really genuinely, like, be in love with her and then have him beat her up. Like, you don't get to have both of those in the same character, because why? Why would you do that? It feels like just insulting to my intelligence as a person. It's just like, don't make this guy likable. There's no reason he needs to be likable when he's beating her. Why should he have any scenes where he's trying to be nice? He has no reason to be nice. And, like, you trying to, like, make it so he's not maybe a complete bad guy is fucking bullshit, okay? He beat her up, he's a bad guy. There's no, like, saving him. Ugh. Let's just get to the end here. Maxim's big plan to save her is that he's gonna go to Albania and find her parents' house and be like, hey, you wanna get married? Like, that's his big fucking plan. It's like, how romantic. They say romance is dead, am I right? Like, what? It's so unromantic, frankly. It's like, oh, hey, you're probably gonna get murdered by people, so I'll, like, marry you. Awesome. It's just stupid, frankly. And the book ends in this way where nothing's really resolved, and I feel like there's supposed to be more books in this series, but then I looked it up, like, on Goodreads, and nowhere else, because I didn't want to Google it that hard. But, like, I haven't seen any indication there's supposed to be more books of this series. It seems like it's supposed to be a standalone, but the way it's written, it's not written as a standalone. I feel like there's supposed to be more books here, and I don't know if she has a book deal for him yet. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But it ends kind of really open-ended, and it was, like, weird. I'm like, okay. I went on this long-ass stupid journey with you, and you didn't even end it. Like, no payoff. I'm just stupid. So stupid. That would be a standalone. Just, I don't want to read more of these. I don't want to read more of them. I'm not going to. I'm putting my foot down. There's only so much abuse I'll put up with, and I can't read another one. Like, their relationship is stupid. They're both in, like, a very emotionally compromised position. Maxim, his brother had only died, like, 3 weeks before this book starts. So he's dealing with a lot of grief. And then you have Alicia, you know, human trafficking. She's in a new country where she knows nobody and has nothing. And he is dealing with a lot of grief because his brother just died. And then, like, they're supposed to fall in love and have this relationship that they're both, frankly, not in the right emotional space to be in. Like, it's not healthy. It's not a healthy place for them to find this relationship and be in it. And, like, other people even say this at certain times in the story. Like, Maxim's friends are like, hey, don't you think this relationship is moving a little fast and is a bit unhealthy? And he's like, fuck you. I'll do what I want. And it's, oh my gosh, it's just people being stupid. And, like, it's just poorly written. And the characters aren't, like, have any common sense. It makes no sense. It makes no logical sense, and that was the big key here. Like, I think if a lot more of the stupidity had logic behind it, perhaps I could have suffered it. But, like, oh my gosh. Like, this is another DNF, frankly. I read 90% of it. Like, I almost finished this thing, and then I just skimmed the rest, because frankly, I didn't even want to read the last 10%. I didn't care, so I just skimmed it. Oh, it's so bad. It's hot garbage dumpster fire. For real. For real. Like, I'm just gonna stop talking about it, because frankly, like, I'm hot now. Like, all the wine and anger made me very hot. Okay. Take a minute. So, my next book is actually the book of the month for the Wicked Spirits Book Club for June. And I don't want to get into too long of a review of it because it is going to be on a live show. We do discuss the book on this channel. It's going to be on my channel this month. We're still kind of working out the date and time. Well, we know the time. It's going to be on a Sunday at 9 a.m. We're not sure which Sunday in July yet. So I will keep you posted on that. And the full discussion will be on my channel. But for the time being, I do need to describe it because, oh my gosh, I hate read it. I hate read this book. Dumpster Fire number 2 was Darkfever by Karen Marie Moning. I don't know why everyone lied to me and said this was a good book, because widely I have had people tell me this book is so great, oh my gosh. So I'm like, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna love it, it's gonna be awesome. And I started reading it and it was like immediately apparent that this is terrible and everyone lied. Or maybe they read it several years ago and they're kind of forgot that it's bad, or maybe back then they didn't know it was bad. But I think if you read it now, it's gonna be really bad. Like, legitimately, I hate read this. I didn't want to read it. I wanted to DNF it, but I couldn't because it's the book of the month for the Wicked Spirits Book Club, so I had to finish it, and it was so bad I wanted to throw it across the room and never read it again. Like, I wanted to stop reading it, and I couldn't, so I just hate read it. Like, out of spite. Like, there were multiple times where I literally yelled at the book. Like, I would be reading, and I'm like, why are you like this? That's stupid! Why aren't you leaving the room? Like, oh my gosh, how are you not murdered? I wasn't thinking those thoughts. I actually said them out loud because I was astonished by what I was reading. This is about a girl named Mac, who's basically like Elle Woods from Legally Blonde and Buffy made a baby made of all of the worst characteristics of both of those characters. It's basically, if you took all the bad things about Elle Woods and all the bad things about Buffy and mashed them up, you have Michaela. She's terrible. She is like a Southern belle, and her sister was in Ireland studying abroad and gets murdered. So she's like, I'm going to Ireland to figure out who killed her. Because she, she has all of these like detective skills we didn't hear about when she's been laying by the pool and bartending her whole life and not doing anything with it. Cool, I'm supposed to believe she's smart, awesome. So she goes to Ireland and immediately just is acting like a fucking idiot. And like, not even like naive. We're like, okay, you're in a new country and you're kind of, you've never been out of the South, so maybe you don't know things and maybe you're gonna be naive about things, but you have common sense. Like, that I could have gotten behind. But frankly, this girl has no goddamn sense in her head. Like, she can't handle nothing. And I don't have words about, like, my Ravenclaw mind exploded by how little sense she had. Frankly, I am surprised she's not murdered. She should have been murdered like 25 times. Like, there's no way she hasn't been murdered in this world. She's that fucking stupid. She's too stupid to live. Gist of the world here. In Ireland, and basically all over the world, but particularly in Ireland, they have fae. The fae are real, and they're nasty sons of bitches, and they want to eat people and destroy the world and just fuck shit up in general chaos. And you have to, like, not let them get these, like, objects of power, because if they do, they will fuck more shit up, essentially. Mac, she gets to Ireland, and she basically finds out she's a special person because she can see the fae, like, see through glamours. And she doesn't know what fae are because, she's from the South. She's never heard of this kind of thing before, so she's seeing weird shit. Like, she is seeing weird shit with her own eyeballs, and she considers herself a sane person. So, she's looking for answers for things, and she meets a guy named Jericho, who is supposed to be the love interest for the rest of the series. And by the way, he is a garbage human. I hate him with the power of 1,000 suns. Real talk. The second time they ever meet, he literally grabs her so hard around the ribs that she can't wear a bra the next day because they're so bruised. Like, he has physically assaulted her. Like, her ribs were so bruised she couldn't wear a bra. Like, he's beat her. And he's the love interest. How is he the fucking love interest? He has beaten her. Like, I can't, like, how is that okay? Is 0% okay? So already I'm like, what the fuck am I reading? And then, on the other hand, Mac is so fucking stupid that I kind of want to punch her in the face too. So it's like, I understand wanting to hit her because she's like too stupid to live. So I understand Jericho's need to fucking punch her in the face, but like, you don't get to do that. I'm sorry, you're a grown man. You don't get to hit her. Sorry. That's just not what you get to do. And why is he the love interest if he's already physically assaulted her? Like, I'm very confused right now. I am very, very confused. Like, I could have got over a lot of, like, possibly kind of sketchy behaviors in this. Like, maybe if he's just threatening to her or genuinely creepy or something. Or maybe, like, he just grabs her and, like, doesn't hurt her, but he, like, grabs her physically. I could have maybe got over it. But, like, the fact of the matter is she couldn't wear a bra because her ribs were so fucking bruised. No. Sorry, you've lost me already. This is, like, 20% into the book. You have lost me. Now, let's just give some highlights of Mac's stupidity, because she's the dumbest human, like, I've ever read about. She basically doesn't believe anybody. She asks for answers, and when she gets them, she says, "You're crazy!" And it's just like, bitch, you came to me for answers. Like I said earlier, she's seeing weird shit. So she goes back to Jericho, and she's like, "Hey, what are these weird things I'm seeing?" He's like, "They're the Fae." And she calls him stupid and crazy and leaves. Like, ha 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 ha, whatever, fairies, ha ha ha, and leaves. I'm like, did you not see creepy ass shit, motherfucker? With your own eyeballs, and then someone gives you an answer and you don't believe them and call them crazy and leave. You deserve to get murdered. There you go. Please get murdered. Go away. And it takes her to, like, almost get murdered by other creatures and stupid shit for her to, like, get her shit together and be like, oh, like, there's Fae, they're bad. And he's like, fucking yeah, I told you that. And it goes downhill from there. Just like a series, basically in any situation that she was ever in, think of the worst decision you can make, and hot damn will she make it. You can count on her for that. She's just, like, it's astounding how dumb she is. Another highlight of stupidity, Mac and Jericho are hunting for these power objects so the Fae don't get them. And he's taking her around to all these weird places to, like, hunt for them, and she gets all mad at him and saying, like, I look stupid, why don't you just tell me where we're going so I can dress appropriately? And he's like, okay, fine, we're going to a goth club that is owned by a vampire, dress appropriately. If you heard that, wear something black, problem solved, am I right? No, she shows up in a fucking rainbow bright dress, like rainbows and, like, glitter everywhere all over her body, and he's just like, you asked me for one thing, and I gave it to you, and you still fucked it up. Like, even he is like, why are you like this? It's just stupid. Like, she can't do anything. And I think that's the problem in the writing, is that for a long time, and still going on now, people's idea of, like, a strong female character was just a woman who's stubborn. And stubborn doesn't make you strong, it makes you a fucking idiot. And then you have to read books like this with a woman making terrible decisions all the time because she's fucking stubborn. And it's just, it's garbage. And it's written in a way so it's supposed to be funny. Like, her being stupid about stuff is supposed to be, like, a joke, but it's not a joke. It's just poor writing. It's bad. It doesn't make any sense. And it's not funny. Frankly, it's not funny. It's just, like, astoundingly dumb. Because it doesn't make any sense, and it makes you go, what the fuck is happening right now? And honestly, I hated it. I hated everything about it. I can keep going on and on and on about how much I hated it, but frankly, that's going to get boring. And hey, we got a live show coming up where I talk a lot about how much I hate this. And yeah, I really, really wanted to like this because I already own the rest of the series, but I'm going to get rid of them because I can't. It's so bad. I literally hate read this. And I screamed out loud multiple times. It's like, if you go into a creepy haunted building looking for clues, when you find the clue, you leave the goddamn building. You don't sit in the foyer and start looking through pictures. What the fuck is wrong with her? Sorry, that was another highlight of stupid that I had to throw in there because it's just like the worst decisions you could ever make in your life are in this. Okay. I gotta calm down. I'm gonna stop. Basically, dumpster fire, I hate it. There will be a live show where I talk more in depth about why I hate this. Woo! I drank a lot of wine and I got a lot of anger. I'm very hot right now. Yeah, I feel like I've bitched a lot, And basically both of those books are just dumpster fires. They're so dumb. And they're not subjectively dumb. They're just poorly written and insulting how dumb they are. Like, there's no reason for that. It's just bad. And like, hate reading. I hated it. I had to share that. Now you know my pain. I'm just sharing it with you. Don't make my mistakes. Learn from them. Don't read those. They're bad. They're very, very bad. Let me know in a comment down below, have you read these books? And if so, do you also think they are hot garbage, or do you disagree with me? I think people might disagree about Darkfever because a lot of people really love that book. But my question to you is, like, have you read it recently? Because I feel like if you read it recently, you might have a different feeling about it as if you read it 5 years ago. So let me know in a comment down below. What are your thoughts? Please be kind if you disagree with me. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon.